Your freedoms are being stripped away while violent gang members freely roam American streets. President Trump just secured a massive victory that allows deportation of Venezuelan criminals who are affiliated with the deadly Tren de Aragua gang. But what we'll see is even more shocking. Leftist judges and politicians are actively undermining these efforts, breaking the law themselves to protect dangerous criminals who aren't even citizens. But things are looking up. A federal judge just handed President Trump a legal weapon so powerful it's got MSNBC spinning in circles. A weapon that could reshape immigration policy as we know it. We're talking about the Alien Enemies Act, a forgotten relic from 1798, now being wielded to deport gang-affiliated Venezuelan nationals. This one ruling exposes everything wrong with the modern left, from their moral confusion to their Marxist obsession with race and power. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, while you were busy living your lives, working hard and following the rules, our nation has been quietly invaded, and I'm not using that word lightly. President Trump just secured a major legal win on deportations that's sending shockwaves through the system. A Trump-appointed federal judge, U.S. District Judge Stephanie L. Haynes, handed down a 43-page ruling that has MSNBC interns searching for their anxiety medication. The shadows lengthening across America's security landscape just got a little shorter. Here's what happened. Judge Haynes ruled that Trump can use the Alien Enemies Act to deport illegal Venezuelan nationals tied to the Tren de Aragua gang. This isn't just any gang. It's a violent organization that has infiltrated our communities while Democrats look the other way. You guys have seen the videos. You know what's going on. In February, the Trump administration took action, declaring that all Venezuelan citizens aged 14 and older illegally present in the United States and associated with Tren de Aragua would be classified as foreign terrorists, not dreamers, not undocumented Americans, terrorists. The law being used here, the Alien Enemies Act, dates back to 1798. It was written for precisely this kind of situation, and Trump is using it exactly as it was intended to be used. The administration has declared Venezuela a hostile nation, and frankly, they're not exactly sending their best and brightest. You'd think this would be something both parties could rally behind. After all, who wants violent criminals living in your neighborhood? But somehow, we're actually debating whether removing dangerous foreign gang members from our soil is the right thing to do. Let's be clear about something. The people of Venezuela don't even want these criminals in Caracas. So why are American citizens being forced to tolerate them here? I'll tell you why. Because the ideology of the modern left has abandoned all forms of logic. The left stopped believing in good and evil years ago. Everything from the American left now boils down to two different camps. And the ideology is based on the old Marxist model. Rich people are the oppressors and poor people are the oppressed. Let me tell you something. These people don't even realize that Karl Marx was a bum who came from wealth, who never really worked a hard day in his life. And he never missed a meal either. Welcome to Cultural Marxism 101, where your moral worth isn't determined by your action, but by your race, gender, and preferred pronouns. It's like identity politics on steroids. Under this new twisted ideology, it's more like a religion. If you're the right identity politics, you're automatically a victim. You are the oppressed, deserving of protection, their protection. If not, you are the problem. In this inverted moral universe, it's somehow virtuous to allow violent illegal gangs to live alongside Americans in American communities. But it is morally wrong to make them leave our country. Why? Because in this new leftist religion, skin color has replaced the 10 Commandments. And now that I've pointed this out to you, how the left breaks everybody down into two boxes, the oppressors and the oppressed, the rich and the righteous poor, you will be able to figure out why they do the things they do, why they behave the way they do upon any issue that comes up. Now you'll be able to go and look at things that they've done in the past to figure out why they behaved the way they did. For example, when St. George Floyd died of an overdose of fentanyl, according to the coroner, the left immediately turned that into an oppressor and oppressed situation. The police were the oppressors, and people like St. George were the oppressed. A lot of people died, and a lot of property was destroyed because of that. This is the exact same twisted thinking that went into our schools through critical race theory. Skin color now determines virtue or guilt and whether you deserve protection. The irony is thick enough to cut with a knife. The people screaming loudest about racism are practicing the most virulent form of it, openly classifying human beings as good or bad based entirely on race and ethnicity. We did a video not that long ago about the corruption of the judges now and politicians. Remember, we talked about that Wisconsin judge, Hannah Dugan? Well, she was recently indicted by a federal grand jury because she was helping shield an illegal immigrant from arrest by ICE outside of her courtroom. She was sneaking the suspect out a side door. That's not just political activism, guys. That's called a felony. And she's not alone in this. We also talked about that New Mexico judge and his wife who were arrested for harboring an illegal gang member from Tren de Aragua right in their home. And yes, that gang member was released on parole in 2022 by the Biden administration. This is what happens when real morality is tossed aside for ideology. Suddenly the law becomes the villain, and breaking it is framed as bravery, even righteous, while enforcing it is painted as cruelty. This is the twisted version of the American left that they keep trying to sell us. Now, this is how the Democrats could literally fly down to El Salvador to support an MS-13 gang member with a criminal record who was involved in human trafficking, assaulted his wife more than once, at least according to all the legal documents, and at the same time they call Trump a fascist dictator for deporting the guy. I mean, in their America, up is down, criminals are heroes, and enforcing our immigration laws is now considered hate speech. That's how far they have fallen. But there's hope on the horizon. Americans are waking up to this madness. The radicals can keep their hashtags and their political cosplay, but the American people aren't buying it anymore. Their show is ending, and for many, it's ending in handcuffs. This is just the beginning, guys. Trump's legal victory is the first domino in a line that will restore order to our immigration system. Finally, the law is being upheld once again, and those who have made a mockery of our sovereignty are finally facing consequences. All right, thank you for watching. Hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with America's fight against illegal immigration and gang violence. I'll see you in the next one.
He's got a heart as big as Texas and beats true. For the red, white, and blue, he'll always pursue. With every sunrise and every starry night, he's a man in love with America, that's right.